There is one thing about a woman in heels that men literally cannot stop noticing. And most women have no idea what it actually is. It is not the shoe itself. It is not the color. It is not even the height of the heel. It is something way more specific than that. And once you know what it is, you will never look at heels the same way again. I have talked to a lot of guys about this, and the answer kept coming up over and over. So if you wear heels, or you are thinking about starting to, you need to hear this because it changes everything about how you choose your shoes, how you walk, and how you carry yourself. And trust me, by the end of this, you are going to want to go straight to your closet and rethink every pair you own. So let's get into it right now. Because this is one of those things that nobody really talks about out loud, but everyone is already thinking about it. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. When a woman puts on a pair of heels, something shifts. Not just physically, but in the entire way she moves through a room. And men feel that shift even before they can explain it. It is one of those things where you ask a guy what he noticed, and he will say something vague like, "She just looked good." But if you push him a little more and ask him to be specific, it almost always comes back to one thing: the arch of the foot. That curve that heels create when a woman is standing or walking, from the heel all the way to the ball of the foot. That is what men are actually drawn to. It sounds simple, but the psychology behind it goes pretty deep. The arch signals something to the brain on a level that most people do not even think about consciously. It reads as elegance. It reads as effort. It reads as someone who cares about how she presents herself. And that combination is incredibly attractive. Studies have even looked into how high heels change the curvature of the spine and the way the foot arches. And those changes consistently score higher in attractiveness ratings from men. So it is not just a feeling. There is real data behind this. The arch is the thing. And here is where it gets really interesting for you as someone who wears heels. Because not every heel creates the same arch. The type of heel matters a lot more than most people think. So now that you know the arch is the main thing men are noticing, let's talk about what actually creates the best arch, and why some heels do a much better job at this than others. A stiletto, for example, creates a very dramatic arch. The heel is thin and tall, and it forces the foot into a steep angle that pushes the arch up high. That is why stilettos are considered so elegant, and why they show up in every high fashion setting. The foot looks longer, leaner, and that curve from heel to toe is really pronounced. But here is the thing, not every woman is comfortable in a stiletto, and comfort affects everything. If you are walking awkwardly or wincing with every step, that arch means nothing because the way you move is what ties it all together. A block heel, on the other hand, gives you more stability. The arch is still there. It is just a little less steep. And a lot of women actually look better in a block heel because they can walk with more confidence. Which brings us to the other half of this whole thing. Because the arch by itself is only part of the picture. The way a woman walks in her heels. That is where the real magic happens. And that is the thing men talk about even more than they realize. Here is something I want you to think about for a second. You have probably seen two women wearing the exact same pair of heels, and one of them looks incredible and the other one just looks like she is struggling to get to the end of the hallway. Same shoe, completely different result. And the difference is almost always the walk. When a woman walks confidently in heels, the whole foot works together. The arch shows with every step. The way the heel hits the ground and then the weight transfers forward to the ball of the foot and the toes. That motion is what draws the eye. Men are visually wired to notice movement. And the movement that heels create when a woman walks naturally and confidently in them is unlike anything else. The hips shift slightly. The posture straightens up. The steps become more deliberate. And all of that frames the foot and the arch in a way that is just really visually striking. So if you have been thinking that buying the right pair of heels is the whole answer, it is really only half of it. The walk matters just as much as the shoe. And the walk comes from practice and from wearing heels that actually fit your foot and your lifestyle, not just heels that look good sitting on a shelf. Now here's the part that most people skip over when they talk about heels. And it is actually the most important practical thing you can take away from this whole video. The condition of the foot inside the heel matters a lot. Men are noticing the arch, they are noticing the movement, and they are also noticing, whether consciously or not, how the foot looks overall in the shoe. A beautiful heel on a well-cared-for foot is on a completely different level than the same heel on a foot that has not been taken care of. This is not about having perfect feet or anything unrealistic like that. It is about the basics. Clean, moisturized skin. Nails that are neat and polished if the shoe is open-toed. Straps that fit properly, so the foot is not spilling over the sides or sliding around inside the shoe. These things sound small, but they change the entire picture. Think about it like this. You would not wear a beautiful outfit with wrinkled, messy pieces underneath it, right? The foot is part of the look. The shoe frames it. And when the foot itself looks taken care of, the whole thing comes together in a way that is genuinely hard to look away from. So, if you are investing in good heels, invest a little bit of time in taking care of your feet too, because that is what completes the look that men actually find so attractive. So let's pull this all together. Men are not just noticing the heels. They are noticing what the heels do. The arch, the walk, the confidence, and the way the whole foot looks inside the shoe. It is a combination of things that work together. And when they all line up, it is one of the most attractive visual things there is. The good news is that none of this is complicated. It is about choosing heels that work for your foot shape and your comfort level, so you can actually walk in them properly. It is about taking care of your feet so that the shoe has something beautiful to frame. And it is about understanding that confidence in how you move is what turns a nice shoe into a statement. You do not need to wear the tallest heel in the room. You do not need to wear a specific color or brand. You just need to wear something that lets your arch show, lets you walk naturally, and fits your foot well. That is the whole formula, and now you know it. If this was helpful, subscribe. There is so much more like this coming.